Hey, what is going on? It is your friend GsQ SubEvo, and today we are discussing what will be the most controversial topic in this series. The topic being montaging. There's a lot to consider before skipping and watching this video. Someone had previously commented in one of the last videos to make timestamps in the description. I did this time, but understand, I previously did not, because the information at the beginning and during the video is extremely vital to the video's entirety. This is not my favorite list per se. These lists are ultimately lists of respect, and with that respect, I believe reason should be considered. So I'm going to start off by defining montager, but you should take into consideration that this term is very vague. So to this extent, this video is and will always remain an opinion due to the fact that this is not a topic that I can objectively judge, and at the end of the day, it's ultimately my opinion, so you can't say that what I believe is wrong. You could believe whatever you want. With that in mind, please know that I do not consider myself a judge. I only consider myself someone with a lot of experience with this game that I can strongly relate to within my passion. A modern Gears of War montager is someone who can effectively demonstrate a variety of skill through a video which elaborates the rarity and consistency of their experiences. When determining the rank in this list, 4 important attributes were considered: diversity, captivation, consistency, and lastly, edits. What creates diversity is the uniqueness of the clips themselves, and we ask ourselves, is there a variety of style and or moments here? Then we ask ourselves, is this something we typically see? Which leads me to captivation. I can refer to this as entertaining because this is perhaps the most subjective portion of my critique, but I use the word captivation because the question asked while watching is, do I see this very often? Is this something that I frequently do or have seen? And to me, that's what's going to make the difference between eye catcher or close the video ender. Hit that X. So then we consider consistency. In terms of consistency, I've only included within this list those I've seen who have proven to have or had a track record of video output of a minimum of at least a year. Where they were putting in work for at least a year. In addition to this qualifier, the judgment here is how frequent these montages appear and how many have appeared during that year being critiqued. Lastly, we have edits. Now, this is where I bring up the fact that edits have changed. They've changed dramatically, actually. They've changed with the game due to there being factors that have reshaped what a montage is. I'm strongly taking Gears 3 and 4 into perspective when considering old times, since the days of real edits, a lot like those seen in Call of Duty, are far and few based on the inclusion of more movement in the game itself and different methods of entertainment since Gears of War 2 that differentiate between a clip that may be associated with luck and one more modernly that relies more on skill. Don't get me wrong, those clips do exist still, as you'll see in this video, and so do the edits, but in order for them to compete with modern montaging, they require more consistency to keep up to a faster paced game. Questions, we got to ask, were the montages synchronized well? The better question, did the video leave you wanting to watch more? I mean, time-lapse is huge, but we're going to start this off here. You ready? Coming in at the number 10 spot, we have an Avenge member. This is an older Avenge member, still around. I think he still plays, I'm pretty sure. This is Avenge Fatal. If you don't know the guy, he definitely is on this list primarily for his consistency. He was always able to not only upload a lot, but get the kind of clips which were captivating, as you could tell. So he was really high in those areas. And the edits, as you could tell from Liam here, when they came out, they were nice. In terms of diversity, though, that would be the only area in which I say he probably lacked a little bit. Number 9 coming in, we have, or he was, a Kaos member. And this is where I'm critiquing him, so I'm going to go by that gamer tag. This is Kaos Poet. A very, 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 very diverse player, in my opinion, for this type of style of going for clips, because it was just the small things that he would always throw in there, you know, that just kind of made it unique to his play style. Just a little strafe or a little up against the wall and pop here and there, and just made it a little bit more captivating. And as far as the consistency, that's the only thing I would have liked to have seen more from him, because the edits always came in pretty nice, in my opinion. I enjoyed watching him play back when this game obviously was a little bit more popular, but always brought me to the table where he would just do something and then do something better, and then, whoa, did he really just do that too? You know? Coming in at the number 8 spot, we have an Essence member. And now this is where we get controversial, because you guys a lot of times might see montaging as, you know, it has to be snipers, this, that, the other, going for trick shots and whatnot. But this is the new era since Gears of War, I'd say late 2 into 3, is that we came across this shotgun power and movement type of montaging. In times of diversity, this guy is way up there. So that's why he is on this list. But primarily why he's actually on this list, in my opinion, is just because of his overall consistency. This guy uploaded more videos than I can tell you, and probably had more clips sitting around, and probably still has clips sitting in Gears of War 3, just because he was extremely passionate about what he did. The edits obviously were the area which it lacked, in my opinion. Coming in at the number 7 spot, we have a guy that you may or may not know. His name is Dunker. Older player. You may or may not know this guy, but this guy really started the era, in my opinion, of go for a clip and then do the most insane thing possible, you know? Go for a clip where it's just a torque headshot or something like that, and then you're going to blind fire a guy from like across the map, you know, and it just was always so exciting. So captivation really was the reason why this guy was on the list, and consistency also, because he did this quite frequently. He would have been higher on this list had he not just considered pretty much everything he did a random clip or a scrap. I wish he would have actually got more involved with making edits, which was another area he lacked. But coming in at the number 6 spot, we have dun 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 dun. Who is it? What do you think? It has to be a Kaos member, right? Is it a Kaos member? Is it an original Kaos member? Is it maybe the man of the hour? You can't deny him, though. I mean, honestly. I know a lot of you guys have seen this video, so you already know who this is. But this is Kaos like butter, or like butter. And honestly, I really, really grew up watching this stuff, and I just can't look back now at his videos and think that this is still not entertaining. In terms of everything, he actually was really well up there for his time. The only problem that really he had was when it came down to Gal 3, really, in my opinion, diversifying a little bit and making it more unique. So, coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the guy to make the difference that I was actually just referring to. And this was where the big change really came about in the montaging scene, is where we went from sniper style Call of Duty montages to, we're going to go from montages where there's movement, there's shotgun, there's outplays, there's clutches. And this was the guy to really, really change that and bring us to kind of what we have today, in my opinion, largely. But he was also able, as you can tell, to do a little bit of both. And that's what's really respectable about him, and made him good at what he did, and good at what he does still. So that's why he's on this list. Ess MooMooMilk, obviously, is a long-time player
from comp and also, just doing videos like this. This right here is actually probably one of my favorite clutches. So it doesn't get old, just seeing that you're going to take what someone considered used to be a clip and then do it in a clutch, and that's just awesome. Coming in at the number 4 spot, though, we are going to jump back onto the T-bow scene, and torque bow, or whatever you want to call it, and sniper. We got Avenge Lockdown, or Pro Lockdown. This guy really, really, really knows how to lay it down in terms of the suspense and the captivation that I was previously mentioned with Dunker. But I just feel like this guy is actually able to do it on a little bit more of a consistent basis, just based off his videos. Maybe in person it would have been a little bit different of a story, or he would have ranked a little higher. I just wish that personally that this guy would have been in the scene earlier, and I think that he would have been so much more productive because he came up in such a way that was just like experienced a huge amount of growth. And as you can see, it's because of his clips. And as I mentioned, the consistency was obviously there as well. This guy really put out like so many episodes in such a short period of time that were all great value. Coming in at the number 3 spot, though, we have another Avenge member. I will say Avenge definitely did take the video in terms of this, but this is going to be Avenge CeeJay, one of my favorite players actually that I personally still watch on Gears of War 4. He definitely is, in terms of a diversity, a very, very, very diverse player, because he'll use not only just torque and snipe and basic stuff, but he'll throw in a little bit of a mix here and there, and I kind of like that, because there's not a lot of these guys from that time era that do. And he'll still keep you obviously captivated and just do stuff that you just would never even see in a million years coming. Poetry in Motion is a great series that he has. If you ever get a chance, check it out. And much love to the guy. Number 2, though, we got Avenge. Who could we have? We got Avenge Joker. Possibly the best to ever hold a lot of these weapons. The primary reason why he kind of, in my opinion, differentiates himself from the rest of the people on this list is because of his consistency, but more importantly, because of everything. I mean, this guy would just do it, crazy, crazy stuff, and it happened nonstop, and he was constantly at it. If you watch his stuff, you're just constantly going to be in suspense, even if you are a montager yourself. This guy is just great. And I really, really enjoyed the fact that he was one of the first from that era to also transcend into what was becoming popular, and that being obviously more movement and stuff. I mean, he wasn't like a crackhead bouncer or anything like that, but to throw in the little nice moves here and there, I thought it was pretty sweet. You got to admit, looking back, I mean, even at that time when he was really making it happen, it even looked all the better. But the moment you've been waiting for, that number 1 spot is, a GsQ member. Pretty cool, huh? Who could it be, though, in GsQ? Because it ain't SubEvo. It's GsQ Zeus. Now, a lot of people will say, hey, you're being biased because you're in GsQ. And yeah, maybe I am a little bit, but I'm really not at the same time, because the thing that you don't know about me is that for a long period of time back in this time frame, I actually was not really understanding or supportive of GsQ. I wasn't in GsQ, and I actually I thought that these guys were just about some random stuff, and I didn't really know what they were doing, and I didn't understand anything they did until I actually started watching Zeus and his videos, and then I realized, like, wow, this guy not only can bring in the new stuff that everyone wants, which is clutches and stuff, but he can do so in such a way that is unique to himself. He could do it in a way that involves movement. He can do it in a way that involves power weapons. He can do it in a way that involves just anything you can imagine. A torque bow, a sniper, he's going to pick it up, he's going to do it. And it just led to my respect for him as an individual player, to realize, like, hey, not only am I getting the best of a modern Essence style player, but I'm also getting the style of an Avenge / Chaos player sometimes from him, and the diversity is just awesome. And then to mention that this guy at the time was actually making videos nonstop in a way that no one else can keep up with, or no one else can really do, was just really, really impressive to me to see once I actually grasped what was happening. And I think that this really reflected in terms of his growth that he experienced probably coming into Gears of War 4. A lot of people outside of myself also began to see that same thing. And had he been at this earlier and been recording, I truthfully don't think that anyone would really doubt me when I say this, just because they would understand where I'm coming from as well. But I really definitely wanted to take the time to explain all that, just simply because obviously the style is a little bit different in terms of montaging, and he himself doesn't actually consider himself a montager, but by my definitions, I definitely would consider this modern montaging at its finest. So if you ever get a chance, definitely check out his channel if you haven't already. Check out everyone in this video. For accuracy purposes, I know that I'm not the best at obviously portraying everything the way that it was or is. I'm trying my best, and it's more about the nostalgic feel of watching these top 10 videos and really just keeping the Gears spirit alive, if you will. You know, I love the game, and that'll never stop. So if you love the game too, I'm sure you'll understand these videos and understand where I'm coming from on a lot of this stuff. But thank you for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video. Thanks. Until next time, this is GsQ SubEvo, and I'm out.